So for the hypothesis test, step 1 was to write the hypotheses. Step 2 was to figure out what kind of tail test it is. And step 3 was to use the graphing calculator to find the p-value and the test statistic. So finally we get to step 4, where we're going to make a decision and write a conclusion statement. Basically all you have to do is compare the p-value that came from your calculator to the significance level alpha, which is given. So the hardest math in this problem is to take the p and the alpha and decide whether it's less than or greater than. Your only two options are less than, which means you're going to reject the null, or greater than, which means you're going to fail to reject. As with many things in math and learning in general, there's a nice little memory trick to help you. If the p is less than, then we can say if the p is low, then the null must go. You're going to reject it. If the p is greater than, then we can say if the p is high, the null will fly, which means we don't have enough data to reject it. Or you could just remember F for fail to reject. We actually never say we can accept it, but we can fail to reject it. The wording of the final conclusion is very important. If you haven't figured that out about statisticians yet, you probably haven't been paying attention. So we are helping you, because this is an intro class, we are helping you with some sentence starters. The logic here can go 4 different ways. And so we are going to help you decide which of the 4 ways are happening. And I would encourage you to label these 1, 2, 3, and 4. They will pop up again in the examples that you're going to watch, and just kind of becomes a shortcut. But how this works is that you're going to pick the situation, the condition that applies to your problem, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and once you pick one, then the conclusion sentence is the one that's with it. So for this chart, you're only going to use one row at a time. And if you haven't noticed, it is page 2 of your formula chart, so you don't have to memorize it. You can have it sitting right next to you while you're doing your homework and the tests. Notice that in example, or the first sentence, the original claim does not include equality, and you reject. The second one is does not include equality, and you fail to reject. What does not include equality mean? Well, equality is the equal sign. So if your claim has the less than, greater than, or not equal to, then you're going to choose sentence 1 or 2 based on whether you reject or fail to reject. And then sentence 3 and 4 are also similar. Sentence 3 says the original claim includes equality, so that would be the equal sign, but you rejected. Sentence 4 says original claim includes equality, so that's the equal sign, but you fail to reject. So you'll need 2 pieces of information, the decision and your claim. And that's it. I do want to point out that the next 6 slides are a fully worked example to read through, and I encourage you to do that before you go over to the examples at the end of this section. But please watch all of the videos, because each of the examples has something to learn or practice to get into your head.